More than 3 decades after NBC's Saved by the Bell debuted in 1989, we get to take a look at the cast who's all grown up and living completely altered lives. I'm your host Michaela, let's get into it. Saved by the Bell was an incredibly popular high school sitcom that quickly grew into one of the biggest hits amongst youth all around the world. Eventually, this success catapulted the young stars of the series to mass international fame. Today, Where Are They Now is peeking into the lives of the Bayside High crew, how much they've changed over time, and what exactly they're getting up to now. But before that, tell me who your favorite star of Saved by the Bell is in the comments below. Taking our 10th spot is Mario Lopez. Mario played the popular army brat and jock named Slater. Following his time on the NBC series, Mario starred in The Bold and the Beautiful, Pacific Blue, Nip and Tuck, and the expanding universe of Ashley Garcia. Mario also executively produced and created the latter. With this, Mario was also featured in a number of made-for-TV films, was the voice of Cruz for Elena of Avalor, played Vince Fontaine in Grease Live, and portrayed portions of himself in the comedies Popstar, Never Stop, Never Stopping, and Get Him to the Greek. His TV roles include This Is Us and Jane the Virgin. Nowadays though, acting is merely a side hustle for Mario. He now takes on more hosting roles through shows like The X Factor, Extra, and Access Hollywood. For his work on Extra, Mario bagged 2 Emmys prior to his summer 2019 transfer to Access Hollywood. Mario is also familiar with reality television as well. He played second in Dancing with the Stars' 3rd season in 2006 and landed his own VH1 show in 2010 called Mario Lopez Saved by the Baby. This series televised his journey of welcoming his first daughter Gia with his ex-girlfriend and former A Chorus Line Broadway co-star Courtney Mazza. The former pair got married in 2012 and had 2 more kids, sons Dominic and Santino, between 2013 to 2019. In 2020, the world saw Mario make his return to Saved by the Bell as Slater for the Peacock series revival. Like today's video if you've watched Saved by the Bell cast in any other shows or movies. Taking our 9th spot is Mark Paul Gosselaar. Mark starred as Bayside's cool guy Zach Morris. After Saved by the Bell was finalized, the actor moved on to star in NYPD Blue from 2001 to 2005 and Franklin and Bash from 2011 to 2014. Outside of these series, Mark carried an impressive track record for being the headliner of short-lived television shows, including Raising the Bar, DC, Nobodies, Hyper and Bay, Pitch, Truth Be Told, The Passage, Commander-in-Chief, and most recently Mixed-ish, which saw a cancellation in 2021 after 2 seasons. Mark and actress and model Lisa Ann Russell got married after Lisa appeared on an episode of Saved by the Bell College Years in 1993. They conceived 2 children named Ava and Michael before splitting in 2010. 2 years after this, Mark remarried an advertisement executive named Catriona, and the latter couple welcomed daughter Lachlan and son Decker since. Like Mario, Mark returned to his role as Zach in the Peacock revival from 2020 and later appeared as himself on an episode of Barry. Taking our 8th spot is Elizabeth Berkley. Elizabeth portrayed the overachieving straight-A student Jessie Spano, who was an on and off girlfriend of Slater and Zach's good friend and next-door neighbor. After she departed from the show, Elizabeth was an addition to Showgirls in 1995, a film that didn't hold much value at the box office and ended up negatively impacting her career. Eventually, Elizabeth scored smaller roles in on-screen works like The First Wives Club, Any Given Sunday, and The Curse of the Jade Scorpion. However, she didn't really land any major parts for the big screen. Still, Elizabeth had stints on CSI Miami, Titus, and The L Word. She was an addition to numerous made-for-TV movies, was a competitor on Dancing with the Stars' 17th season, hosted the brief Bravo reality show Step It Up and Dance, saw great success from the Broadway revival of Sly Fox and the off-Broadway revival of Hurly Burly, and published a teen self-help book in 2011 titled Ask Elizabeth. In 2013, she married Greg Lauren and they had their son Sky. Similar to her castmates, Elizabeth returned as Jessie for the SBTV revival. As of now, Elizabeth is set to star in HBO's forthcoming series The Idol, opposite huge stars including The Weeknd, Lily Rose Depp, Blackpink's Jennie Kim, Troye Sivan, and Debbie Ryan. Taking our 7th spot is Tiffani Thiessen. Tiffani played the popular cheerleader Girl Next Door and long-term love of Zach's Kelly Kapowski. Following Saved by the Bell, Tiffani portrayed bad girl Valerie Malone on 90210 between 1994 to 2000. After this, it was lasting stints on Good Morning Miami, Two Guys and a Girl, and What About Brian, before she landed her next huge role on White Collar. Tiffani also added The Ladies' Man, Son-in-Law, Alexa and Katie, and From Dusk Till Dawn on her working resume between 1990 to 2017. The actress hosted the cooking channel's Dinner at Tiffany's from 2015 to 2017. Her high-profile romances started with Brian Austin Green and ended with Brady Smith, who she eventually married in 2005. Together, they shared 2 children named Harper and Holt. 2020 saw Tiffani re-return as Kelly for the Saved by the Bell revival. Currently, Tiffani also hosts MTV's clip show Deliciousness. Taking our 6th spot is Lark Voorhies. Lark acted as the resident rich girl of Bayside High, Lisa Turtle. Once her run on the series was over, Lark appeared in Days of Our Lives, In the House, The Bold and the Beautiful, How High, and How to Be a Player alongside various made-for-TV movies. However, in 2012, the actress took part in an interview which had the media speculating her behavior, questioning her mental state, and attaching Lark to rumors of addiction struggles. Lark's mom even informed people that the actress had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, but Lark denied this claim. Fast forward to 8 years later, and Lark publicly admitted that she was medically diagnosed as schizophrenic. Lark went on to self-publish 3 books in 2010 and 2011, and briefly engaged Martin Lawrence in the early 90s. She was also married to Miguel Coleman from 1996 to 2004, and then once more to Jimmy Green back in 2015 for 6 months. In 2020, Lark made her return as Lisa for a single episode of the show, later being featured in a few more, with this being her first role in almost a decade. Taking our 5th spot is Dustin Diamond. The late Dustin played the socially awkward but genius Samuel Screech Powers. Dustin was the only original Bayside High actor to return to Saved by the Bell: The New Class, which was on air from 1993 to 2000. His work as an actor continued, but he never saw nearly as much success as his time on the NBC original. Dustin eventually tried his hand at stand-up comedy, putting out an alternative metal album with his brief band Salty the Pocket Knife, dropped a 2000 adult film, and appeared on reality TV shows Celebrity Big Brother, Celebrity Fit Club, and Celebrity Championship Wrestling. He was embroiled in a scandal in 2009 surrounding his SBTV cast when he released a controversial tell-all book called Behind the Bell. This story was inspired by Lifetime's 2014 The Authorized Saved by the Bell story. In the end, Dustin revealed his ghostwriter over-exaggerated a lot of the memoir's touchy details, though he was still an executive producer on the Lifetime movie it spurred. In 2016, Dustin was locked up for 3 years for a violent late 2014 altercation with another man and a switchblade at a Wisconsin bar. Dustin claimed it was self-defense for himself and his then fiancée Amanda Schutz. However, he was incarcerated once more in mid-2016 for violating the terms of his then probation. Dustin was not invited by Peacock to take part in the Saved by the Bell revival and suddenly passed away from cancer 2 weeks following this. SBTV eventually honored him in an episode of the 2nd season with a group tribute scene. Taking our 4th spot is Dennis Haskins. Dennis was Bayside's principal, Mr. Belding, on SBTV. He also starred in The New Class from 1993 to 2000. His work as an actor remained regular after the series' run, but he didn't quite reach mainstream recognition in his later years. Still, he was featured in a 3-episode stint of Men of a Certain Age and made brief appearances in the 2018 indie drama Clemency and Seth MacFarlane's 2014 comedy A Million Ways to Die in the West. Dennis's additional pop-ups include How I Met Your Mother, Mad Men, and New Girl. In 2009, Dennis dropped an album complete with cover songs. Nearly a decade following this, Dennis channeled Mr. Belding again to star in Dirty Head's high school-themed music video Vacation. Taking our 3rd spot is Lyanna Creel. Lyanna acted as Bayside's Tori Scott, who was brought in during the final season for the show's 64th episode, The New Girl. She was a fast enemy of Zach's, but the two eventually dated, classic enemies to lovers style. For appearances after the show, Lyanna was part of Ned and Stacy and One West Waikiki. For production, Lyanna worked on movies including But I'm a Cheerleader, Six String Samurai, The Suburbans, Get Over It, Mixed Signals, Queen for a Day, and Possums. Lyanna executively produced Desert Blue, Boo Near, Texas Pop 81, and Dancer. With this, the actress directed and penned Offside and Promtroversy. Her last appearance in Saved by the Bell was for the 1992 episode School Song. Once Ignite Films was sold, Lyanna moved on to launch her own photographic business while traveling on the side. However, she's remained behind the camera still, now producing and directing for major companies like Yahoo. Taking our 2nd spot is Christine Taylor. Christine was a guest star in SBTV, and despite not one character being surprised by Zach's practically impossible score on his SATs, he managed to impress a girl named Heather, who was portrayed by a much younger Christine. In one of her earliest roles, Heather seems to be set up to become Zach's newest love interest until the plot twist of her boyfriend crashing their study session in Zach's room takes place. Since her time on the show, Christine is making news headlines for the recent reconciliation of her 2-decade marriage to Ben Stiller. They first shocked the world when their relationship was reported to be unraveling in their 17th year. However, now they're back together, and they give credit to the 3 years the world spent stuck at home as one factor for their makeup. In a recent Esquire interview, Ben admitted that he and Christine agreed fairly early on to re-move back into their shared home so Ben could spend more time with their family. The two first met in 1999 on the set of the Brady Bunch movie and married the following year. Taking our first spot is Denise Richards. Another guest star of the series was Denise, only this time she played a beach babe named Cynthia who partook in the gang's Malibu Sands Summer of Fun. Cynthia faked a drowning so Slater could save her, and the character ended up scoring a date with the latter. Nowadays though, Denise is known for so much more, specifically for being a sensual icon and for her time on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She recently stunned just about the whole world when she stepped out for Halloween this year in a dazzling bodysuit made of latex with a deep plunging neckline. The confidence she is so well known for really shone through in her October 31st Instagram post of the cat costume, captioned "Happy Halloween" with a pumpkin emoji and crediting tags for her glam team and photographer. This by far wasn't even the first spicy photo that Denise has shared with her fans either. She previously signed up for the subscription-based site OnlyFans after her daughter Sammy joined. The Real Housewives alum charges viewers $25 per month to view her exclusive content while answering extremely personal questions asked of her by dedicated supporters. That's been today's WA10. Thanks for watching, friends.